Hi, Michael here. It's been a while. How are you, friends? How's your year going? It's been a while since I've made a video, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick update on the things that I've been up to since the last time I made a video, and the things that are upcoming, and also the things that I've learned so far in the first quarter of 2023. And so, with that, let's get started. So, a lot has changed since the start of 2023, and I've told you guys about this in my first video about my productivity system. It's going to change, and it has. It has changed quite a bit. So, first things first about what has changed with my productivity system. I've stopped using my bullet journal. I've stopped bullet journaling because it was just a bit too manual of a process to have to write down all my tasks and then transfer them the next day. It was quite tedious. And so I've stopped bullet journaling and I replaced it with an app called Things. And Things is basically a to-do list project management app that has streamlined my entire process, and it's been really helpful. It's a straightforward app, and it's been really helpful in helping me manage all my tasks and projects. The second thing that has changed in my productivity system is I've sort of changed how I use Notion. So remember how I used bullet journaling and Notion for my one thing? I still have my one thing on my Notion, but now my Notion is more like a place where I just put in my ideas and my overall goals and projects for the entire year. But as to how I'm managing the tasks and the projects, I'm now using Things for that because it's just way quicker and way easier to use Things than on Notion. The primary reason why I transferred or why I stopped using Notion and went to Things is because Notion, when you open it on your phone, it's just a bit laggy and slow at times. I wanted something that was quicker and easier for me to be able to have access to my tasks and projects. So that's one of the main things why I transferred my project and task management to Things. So those are the changes for my productivity system. As to the things that I'm up to lately, so I'm now working as a digital marketer under a company called the ABBA Initiative, and we provide business solutions for MSMEs all around the world, but for now primarily in the Philippines. And so if you want to check out all the things that we're doing under the ABBA Initiative, check it out at the ABBA Initiative. We're on all social media platforms. Check it out. It might just help you if you're running a business or if you're interested on just learning about things regarding business. Check it out. It's really good. Third thing that I've been up to is I've been working on my EP, and it's coming out sometime around June. And stick around, I have some more updates regarding that. And so now I wanted to share with you guys my some of my learnings for the first quarter of 2023. And I've learned a lot since the first quarter, but I'll share with you my top 4 things that I've learned for this quarter. So number 1, you are already enough because God has made you more than enough through Jesus Christ. Because of Jesus, we have become adequate and equipped to be able to do the work that God has called us to do. And so that really has encouraged me in terms of doing this new work that I'm doing now under the ABBA Initiative, where I'm doing digital marketing, I'm managing projects and brands. And, I have no experience regarding these sorts of things, but this reminder and this revelation that God has made me more than enough has been encouraging me to take steps of faith and to not be afraid to explore in this new area that I'm doing right now. Second thing that I've learned is this thing regarding our thoughts. I've learned that not all of our thoughts comes from ourselves. Sometimes the enemy can influence our thoughts, can bring about thoughts, suggesting thoughts in our minds, which is not really who we are. And sometimes our sinful flesh can also bring about thoughts, which is not who we are. The true selves, the true us, is now found in Christ. We are now new creation because of Jesus Christ. And so, with these thoughts that we know doesn't come from the Spirit, it doesn't come from the Word, we can just ignore them, reject them, because it has no power. Christ has given us the victory. Christ has won over sin and death. And so, these sinful thoughts that may come has no power over us. And we don't even have to rebuke them because they're powerless against us. By rebuking them, we kind of are saying that they still have power, but the truth is they don't have any power. And so instead of rebuking them, we can just ignore it and fix our eyes on the truth and say, Lord, this is just a lie, but I know the truth that I have in you. And so that has been really helpful for me, especially when it comes to battling some negative thoughts that I come across, insecurities and anxieties and fears and doubts. Learning to fix my eyes back on the truth and what God has said in His Word has been really powerful. The third thing that I've learned is that we're part of a bigger symphony that God is orchestrating throughout eternity. Now, what God is overall doing is that He's bringing heaven down here on earth, and we're very much privileged that God has chosen us to become part of that work, to bring heaven here on earth. And we're a part of this bigger work that God is doing. And so, because it's God's overall goal and it's His agenda, you and I don't have to feel pressured of really having to perform, because in the first place, it's God who has prepared for us every good and perfect work. As it says in Ephesians, it's God who has prepared for us for every good work. And so we don't have to pressure ourselves. We can just surrender ourselves to God and say, Lord, I'm going to give myself to you. Do as you want in my life, and use me to glorify you and to bring heaven here on earth. I got this revelation in a book by Jordan Rainer called Redeeming Your Time, and I highly recommend that book if you want a book about productivity and a Christian perspective on productivity and faith. So read that, really, really good book. The fourth thing that I've learned for the first quarter is just the overall importance of resting in God and surrender. And that message has really, really resonated with me in the first quarter, that so much so, in fact, that it has led me to create a page on Instagram called pace.lento. You can follow it there at pace.lento. And lento is a Spanish word for slow. And so the message there is learning to take things slow, learning to pace yourself, learning how to rest really in Christ Jesus. And so if you want daily reminders about Jesus and about resting in God, then I think that page is gonna be really helpful for you. So go ahead and follow it at pace.lento. I'm trying to post there at least twice a week. And I'm also looking for people to collaborate with me on that page. And so if you have any sort of inspiration regarding rest or reminders about taking things slow and surrendering to God, could be a video, a picture, or maybe music, let me know. Send me a DM me on Instagram and let me know how we can work things out for the spreading the message of rest and surrender to the world. Okay, I'm gonna move over here to discuss to you about the second part of what we have in store. All right, welcome to another part of our garden. And so in connection with all these things that I've learned, I want to share with you how it connects to my upcoming EP. So my upcoming EP is coming out sometime in June, and I'm very excited for you guys to be able to listen to it and hear it. It has the center of the message of the EP is all around rest and surrendering to God and coming closer to Jesus. And so you kind of get the idea of where I'm getting at with my EP. Another thing that I'm planning to do is to start a podcast. And my whole idea for the podcast is basically to share to people inspirational stories and faith stories of people who had dreams and ambitions, who wanted to do it but were scared of it at first, but then found their faith and trust in God, and they were able to achieve and pursue their dreams and their ambitions. And the whole idea of it is that when you listen to it, you'll be encouraged and inspired to be able to pursue what it is that God has placed in your heart. And so I hope to be able to make that soon, so stay tuned for that as well. Also, I'm curious, who should I invite first in the podcast to share their story? If you have somebody in mind, do share them, suggest them to me in the comments below. Okay, and that's basically all there is, well, a small tidbit anyways, of everything that's happened to me in the first quarter and for what's upcoming for the second quarter this year. And I'm very much excited to get it started and to share it with you guys. But let me know, what are the things that you have learned in the first quarter? Share them down below so that you can encourage others who will be reading it. And also, let's support each other. Let's encourage one another with your goals and to your resolutions. Were you able to keep them? What have you stopped? And what have you started again? And just share them down below, and let's encourage one another there. Also, I would like to know, what else do you guys want to see on this YouTube channel? I'm currently brainstorming on some ideas that I could make here, but I could also use your suggestions and your ideas on what else I can make. So that is all for me. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you guys got a thing or two from this video, and I'll see you again next time. God bless you.